Yo, 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 how are we? Oh, right, I'll just wait for some people. I know we're a bit early at the minute. Let me get Streamlabs. Am I in the right one? I am, yes, I am in the right one. Right, bear with me whilst I get a link here. Okay, I'm going to play. The verdict's there. The verdict's coming in 30 minutes. So I'll start off by playing the closings and then we'll skip on to the rest of it then after that. Hey, Sarah P. So I'll boost that. We'll play the 1.5 and then we'll watch the verdict as it comes in as well. So here we go.
We do this at sidebar, but as you mentioned, we don't have a fact finder here that we need to talk off to the side to. So in open court, I'm happy to do this. Sure. Yeah, I'll go back over everything I said at sidebar, Your Honor. Judge, the first objections I have to counsel's closing argument. Her whole world imploded. Her fiance betrayed her. Her baby was being taken away. She was going to lose her house, her job. There was an incredible confluence of tragedy that was visited upon her that day. That day was about her, and she decided in the midst of what you saw testified to here, she decided to end her life. Patrick Noonan, when he came back up those stairs, Your Honor, walked into a suicide in progress. That gun was nowhere near him. That gun was already pointed at Ms. Fitzsimmons' temple by Ms. Fitzsimmons. She was a couple steps into the room. Officer Noonan, a gung-ho cop, highly trained, a SWAT guy, he'd already been chinned up all afternoon by the insane, ludicrous statements of Justin Delaney. He had that in his head. He walked in, and like all of us are susceptible to, he made a mistake. He shot too quick. He reacted too quickly. And instantly, he realized that he had to adjust the narrative. And that was easy to just add 6 words to the equation, Your Honor. He said, words to the effect, she pointed the gun. 6 words. What did those words do at that time period? Those words made him the victim. Those words made him the hero. And those words, most important, made him untouchable. Those words were a defense for his future, his life, his reputation, and they were conveyed to a very willing audience. His colleagues, his brothers, his family, the investigators in the case. So that's really what happened here, Your Honor. And it is a tragedy, and it is something that should not result in any further harm to Ms. Fitzsimmons. This should be over. It should be an acquittal, Your Honor. I want to talk to you about a few of the elements that I know you're going to be concerned about. So first thing I want to talk about, Judge, is the lack of motive and the lack of intent. Because when it's down to brass tacks, I know that you're going to look at the law, you're going to look at the credibility determinations, and you're going to make a judgment. And here, this case fails. The Commonwealth ship founders on the rocks of lack of motive and lack of intent. Let's talk about motive. Everything in life is motive. And it's ironic that, us lawyers always say, oh, you don't need to prove motive. But you really kind of did. It might not be an element of the crime, but motive is everything in this business, Your Honor. Let's look for motive or lack of motive. Fitzsimmons and Noonan are colleagues. They had already bonded over shared tragedies, shared experiences. They were okay with each other. They were friends. Kelsey thought well of him, and she thought well of her. She knows he has a family. She knows who his family is. She's not going to harm this guy. She knows, Your Honor, that he didn't do this to her. She knows that Justin Delaney did this to her. And she's probably most important. She's been in those shoes before, serving restraining orders. She knows she's just a messenger. She knows he's just a messenger. This was the worst moment of her life, and she wanted to end her life. And how did she want to do it? She wanted to do it alone. She didn't want to involve these officers because she knew this was a selfish act. She came in here, and ironically, the most credible evidence that came into this case, Your Honor, was from the one person that didn't have to testify. And she came in here and she chose to testify. She waived her rights and she testified. And she showed, Your Honor, that she's a moral person. She's a caring person. You'll sit down and you'll deliberate, and you'll be drawing the inevitable conclusion that Kelsey Fitzsimmons is a moral person. You have to contrast that with the callous treatment of this case from the other side. Hey, we're going to go serve an order on Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Her ex-fiancé got an order on her, on Kelsey. Let's go serve an order. The answer sounds good. Let's go. Talks to his neighbor. Oh yeah, I'm the shooter. I'm the shooter. She's a whack job. So you have to take these credibility determinations into account. And I know you're a gentleman, but you have to get down to brass tacks on who's who here. What else shows you that she's a moral person? She doesn't want to involve these guys. She's trying to get rid of them. She says, oh, the guns are over here, so she can go where they really are. She keeps trying to give Houston and Noonan baby things to bring downstairs. She's trying to get rid of them. She's trying to get them away from her. She wants to do this on her own. She doesn't want to have some sort of situation where she gets shot by one of her colleagues and friends. It's understandable because she's a moral person. She waits for her chance. She gets to her room. There's a distraction downstairs. She doesn't know what's going on because she's focused on the job she's trying to do here. The tragic, awful thing that she's trying to do to herself. That's how you know she's telling the truth, Your Honor. You saw in the room, and I'll show it to you in a minute. The chest that she got the gun from, it's a chest on the floor. It has one of those pretty substantial lids that you have to flip up to get the gun, locate the gun, pick the gun out of the 4 guns, and stand up. If Noonan was standing right there in the door frame, that would have never happened. All those events, that little series of events, he would have been able to stop it. He would have stopped it. It tells you that he's down the steps. He was interested in the distraction downstairs. He saw Kelsey folding some baby clothes, getting baby things ready. His attention, it's human nature. His attention was drawn to go back down the stairs. He walked down the stairs 2 or 3 steps, 4 steps, whatever. And Kelsey told you, straight up, that was my chance. And she took it. And she went in the chest, zip 51, Your Honor, I'll show you right now. And she went in that chest, flipped up that lid, got the gun, stood up. She told you again, she's a moral person. She tried to keep the gun concealed. She made the motion like this, Your Honor. She put the gun like this, and she kind of walked over here. She didn't want the police to see her with the gun. She held the gun to her stomach area. She walked to a clear area, and she put the gun to her head. And that's what I mean when I say, Officer Noonan came back up the stairs, and what did he walk into? He didn't walk into some Rambo woman trying to shoot him in the face. He walked into Kelsey, who you now know a little bit from her testimony. He walked into Kelsey's room, because he had a gun to her head. And he walked into a suicide in progress room. And the man that had just been holding a baby, that she chose to hold a baby, that she chose to feed a baby, walked into her suicide in progress. The gun was nowhere near Noonan. There was no threat to Noonan. And the law says that an officer may not use deadly force on someone who is exhibiting danger only to themselves. And that's offered to Your Honor twofold, in the sense that it shows that this was not a reasonable use of force, and it shows you that his knowledge of that statute, as I said on the stand, gives him a motive to lie. He knows that this is not a good shooting. He knows this is not a clean shooting, and that gives him a motive here, Your Honor. And like all of us, we all make mistakes. He overreacted and he shot. He had a look on his face, panicked, flustered, he shot. He made a mistake by leaving her there, walked down a few steps, and that gave her the chance. And when he did this, he knew immediately, Your Honor, that he had to be just behind it. Filtered through the legal lens, Your Honor, that tells us that Kelsey had no intent. She had no intent to harm him. There's no assault here because she didn't have the intent to do so. As a fact finder, you can consider everything you said about motive, that she lacked any motive to harm this man. In fact, it was the opposite. She thought well of him. She knew Justin did this to her. She had just trusted him with a baby, and she had tried several times to get these officers away from the situation. No intent to harm him, no motive driving her mindset to do so. Reasonable doubt, burden of proof, Your Honor. Where the evidence supports a reasonable and more plausible alternative, and that's shown here by Kelsey's testimony, it cannot be said that Commonwealth has proven the case beyond reasonable doubt. There is reasonable doubt. When there are 2 plausible versions of what happened, that itself is reasonable doubt. The versions themselves, Your Honor, show reasonable doubt. Kelsey's version rings true. Noonan's version is all over the place. Noonan's version is contradicted by the strong consensus of everybody else in the house. Noonan portrays a couple different stories, but if you want to pick one where it's this drawn-out potential gun battle, where she's backpedaling, sidestepping, tapping, racking, there's commands going on, that takes time. It takes time for me even to say it. Never mind, do it. And that's belied by everything everybody else in the house says. Everyone else says, Kelsey, no, 2 shots of quick succession, that does not fit with what Noonan said happened. So on that alone, Your Honor, as a fact finder, I suggest that your duty is accomplished quickly, because there are 2 extremely divergent versions of this event. And Noonan's version has changed itself. Noonan's version is inconsistent with who you now know Kelsey is as a person. It's self-serving. And like I said, it makes him untouchable. And when you judge it against everyone in the house, he's the only one with the Rambo story. Everyone else has what Kelsey says. He walks into a suicide in progress, he sees it, he reacts, Kelsey, no, bam, bam. Brain freeze, mistake. Has to cover it up immediately. What else do we have? When you're a fact finder, you're learning one of the corroboration. What's the corroboration on either side of this thing? Or lack of corroboration, which is what really it is here. The big one, the big elephant in the room is that this department has no body cameras. We wouldn't even be here if they had body cameras. There's no evidence other than people's words. He said versus she said. That's oftentimes, almost all the time, not a good place to start for the Commonwealth. How many of these guys didn't do reports? What's up with that? Why didn't Trooper Strong put the body camera video on the witness he's interviewing? There's no science. The testimony of everyone else in the house shatters his narrative. Kelsey Fitzsimmons has been blessed. She should be dead 2 times over by her own hand and by the hand of Officer Noonan, who shot her. She's blessed. She's here today, and she has to be released somewhere. Maybe that's why the investigation is what it is. Maybe that's why the story is so sloppy, because nobody expected her to be here today. Tell her truth. But she is wrong. And as a fact finder, I want to respectfully ask you to consider the evidence, consider the lack of motive, the lack of intent, the inconsistencies. The credibility contest is firmly in her camp. She came in here and she told you what happened. Unvarnished truth. And I ask you to find her not guilty. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mr. Ray. Yeah.
The demonstration in this case,
Yes.
every piece of credible evidence in this case proves one thing, that she's guilty. All the testimony, the scientific evidence, the physical evidence, the demonstrative evidence, everything points to one conclusion: she is guilty. Even her own testimony proves she's guilty, because it's impossible to have happened the way she said it. It is scientifically, mechanically impossible for it to happen the way she said it. Her story is that she grabbed a gun, put it to her head, pulled the trigger, and it clicked. The chamber was empty. That's what her story is. That's what Officer Noonan's story is too. She pulled the trigger, clicked, nothing came out. It wasn't around in the chamber. She even said she told everybody how stupid I am. I tried to kill myself with an empty gun. Well, what do we know about the guns? What do we know about her gun? Because after she went to the floor, Lieutenant David picked it up, put it on the bed. Officer Noonan picked it up and put it on the table. And then Officer Ford came in the room. And what happened then? Officer Noonan said, secure that gun, make it safe. And so what did he do? He took the gun, he found that black box, the safe. He made sure that was empty, he turned it over. He pulled out the magazine that you can see right here. He opened the chamber, and there was a round in the chamber. He dumped it out into the safe and put the firearm in. And then they stood watch on that until State Trooper Bonasaro took it back and left. That magazine that you have in evidence contained 16 rounds. It was a 17-round capacity gun. It contained 16 rounds, plus the one that was in the chamber. 17 rounds. As we know, there are only two ways to get a bullet into the chamber. One is if there's already a bullet in the chamber, someone pulls the trigger. A bullet comes out, the casing comes out, the chamber's open, the spring allows another bullet to come out. That's one way, and we know that didn't happen here. The gun didn't fire because the chamber was empty. The only way a bullet gets in this chamber, other than that way, is if someone racks the gun. She said she didn't rack the gun, but there was a bullet in the chamber. She did rack the gun. What did Officer Noonan say? She pulled the trigger. Nothing happened. She stepped back, tap racked, tried again, didn't do it. Tap racked again, pulled it, and that's when he fired. She put a round in that chamber. That's the only way it got there. Her story can't be true. She got up on that stand and she lied to you. It's scientifically and physically impossible for her story to have happened the way she said. That's what the evidence shows. But she didn't just lie to you then. She lied again. She lied at the scene about where the guns were. And she admitted that, and I understand that, right? And she said she lied to the police because she decided to kill herself. But when did she say she said that? They had been to the house. They had talked to her, according to her. She now started contemplating all of the ramifications of what's going to happen to her. Because she's losing her life, her job, her son is being taken away, all of these things. And so she's going that over her head. And then minutes later, as she's walking through the house, she says, my gun's in the basement. Because that's the time she made the decision to kill herself. Later on. And we know that's a lie. We know that's a lie because what was one of the first things they asked her when they went to that house? They asked her to put the baby down, they would serve the baby, told her the restraining order, what the parameters were, and asked her where your guns are. When she was still sitting on the sofa. They weren't waiting to ask that question until she was already walking around the house. No way. And what did she say there? They're in the basement. And we know she said it there before she moved around the house, which is untrue. Because her friend, Officer Houston, who was invited to her wedding, says it also. He says, Sergeant Daly asked. And then remember what he said? He said, I was in the living room. She was sitting down. And then I saw the gun case on the other sofa. And so I opened it up to see. And she said again, I already told you the guns are in the basement. Now, why at that point did she say that? We don't know. She didn't tell us, because she lied to us about why she said it later, because we know she didn't say it later. So she lied again. You can't trust her. She also lied about knowing that her mom was in the house. She was upstairs. The officer, Noonan, I think it was, Noonan heard an older woman's voice down there and said, who is that? She says, I have no idea. She doesn't know her own mother's voice, her best friend that she just talked to come to the house. And she said she didn't know whose voice it was. Another lie. She said on the stand yesterday that she didn't know Justin was in the house. And we know that's a lie too, because what happened when the three of them were upstairs? It's Noonan, it's Houston, and it's the defendant. She hears him downstairs. Houston hears him downstairs, and she says, keep him away from me. I don't want him in my house, or something to that effect. And that's when Houston went down to make sure he wasn't coming up and went to the basement. She knew he was in the house. She absolutely did, and she lied to you when she said she didn't test her. And you know what else she lied about? Something so simple that shows who she is, the restraining order. She said, the restraining order was taking my dog away. It says it. It doesn't say that. Nothing about the dog in there. I could go on about the lies, but I want to talk about the credible evidence. The credible evidence in this case. When Lieutenant Daly got a call, I actually got a visit from Justin Elaine when he was in the lobby of the PD. And Justin told him he got into a 9A against Kelsey. And Detective Daly knew that she had a second report, that she had guns, that they were taking the child away from her for a period of time. And so what did he do? He called Officer Houston. He asked Houston to call Daly to move up. And why did he say he did that? He said because those two are cool, calm, and collected. They don't panic. They keep things calm. That's what he said. And that's why when he called Houston, he said, can you call Daly, you got to do this. And so he wants you to believe, defense counsel, that Hadley was cavalier about, oh, okay, sounds good, we haven't served a restraining order, but that's not what happened. He was mischaracterizing it, I hope you remember, in the grand jury case. Because Houston had called Pat and said, hey, we got a certain order, can you meet me by the school? Pat said, sounds good. It wasn't until he got over there, it wasn't until Lieutenant Daly was there that they learned really what they were going to do. And they went over there. And defense counsel asked David, you guys were cavalier about it, you knew her, weren't worried about the guns, all this stuff. And Lieutenant Daly said, no. No. His quote was, we had an increased level of diligence. Everyone was more on point because they did know what they were walking into. They did know. They did know that she had been sexually assaulted. They did know there was going to be a baby in the house. They did know that she had guns. They did know at that point that she had parked her car far away. This all going to what they were thinking at that point. They did know all those things. And they did know Justin's concerns. He said, according to Lieutenant Daly, I'm worried she's going to kill the baby, kill herself, and kill someone else. So that's what they were thinking when they went into this house. That's the credible evidence when they went in there. And what did they do when they went in there? They sat her down, and they allowed her, or maybe they asked her, I can't remember, to go around and get some stuff for the baby. But she knew Justin was coming to get the baby. And they were in her pocket the whole time. They followed her around the house, at least two of them, while she did that. And you know that because even Officer Houston said, I was in her pocket. We went into the kitchen, and I noticed there were butcher blocks with knives on it. With knives in it. And they were concerned. There was no chance they would leave her alone. No chance they would leave her alone. Officer Newman. Officer Newman. All of the testimony that you've heard about Officer Newman, even from the defendant, he's a gentleman, he's experienced, he is by the book, in his training experience, starting in the military, through boot camp, through security forces school, security forces squadron, with all the training he had, and Humvees and helicopters, and the SWAT team, 2 times a month training, clearing rooms, clearing buildings, hostage situations, missing persons, no-shoot scenarios, twice a month, and a 40-hour block every year. For over a decade he did that. And he moved to Lawrence, as far as the department goes, because it was busier, and he had more experience. He was who and clever. There's no doubt about that. And to say when they're upstairs, and he walks away and leaves her alone because he heard a commotion that Officer Houston was going to attend to, is a joke. It really is. Now, how do you know they were going by the book at that point? And how do you know they were diligent? Because they followed around everywhere. Because both Houston and Officer Newman said we kept handing us things and we kept putting them down. We wanted our hands free. Because they were ready for whatever happened. Hopefully nothing did, but ready for whatever happened. So at some point, Houston and Newman are upstairs, and the defendant goes into her room. And she hears Justin. And Houston goes down to Houston and make sure he's there. And Officer Newman is watching her. He's watching her. And she's on one knee. And she lunges, and she disappears. And she emerges with this, pointing at him like she is trained to do. Click at his face. And what does he see next? He draws his weapon, and he says, his testimony, it kind of slowed down. The whole thing took maybe 4 seconds, maybe even 3.5 seconds. His training has kicked in. His experience has kicked in. It was a surprise to him, certainly, because she got the drop on him. And why did she do this? Who knows? Maybe he's right. Maybe she was going through him to get to Justin. Maybe she was just so upset she was going to shoot anybody in front of her. Maybe she wanted him to shoot her. We don't know because she lied about it. We don't know. But the fact is, she started to shake, she started to tremble, and she lunged for the gun that he couldn't see. And what happened after she flipped? She stepped back, and now he knows, based on his training experience in the clip, there is not a round in the chamber. He knows that, and so he doesn't shoot. According to the defendant's testimony, he had every right to shoot at that point. And you know what? He actually did. He had a right to shoot her at that point. If you point a gun at a cop and pull the trigger, they get to shoot. But he didn't. Because he was controlled and disciplined. That's the way his career went. And so she steps back, back, and tries to do it. He doesn't shoot her then. And what's he doing at this point? Kelsey, no. Kelsey, no. Because he knows the threat isn't there, really, because there still wasn't one in the chamber. Kelsey, no. Kelsey, no. He is being disciplined like we wish every police officer, every law enforcement agent in this country was. He should be applauded for his actions on that day. Tap rap again. Now he knows one's in the chamber. Threat's on. She starts to raise it, and he shoots. He shoots twice to stop the threat. He stopped shooting when the threat was neutralized. Defense counsel, during his cross-examination, well, he would unload her gun. He goes, no, that's not what you do. You shoot until the threat is neutralized. She was now down on the ground. But his training and experience are still taking over. Because what does he do? He still has his gun on her. because the gun's still there. You can't see it. Lieutenant Daly comes in, Lieutenant Houston comes up. What does Officer Houston say that he sees when he comes upstairs? That Officer Noonan is standing there with the gun low and ready. His training is still taking place. He's still doing what he was trained to do. The gun is put on the bed. He's calm and collected. He takes the gun and moves it away so people are safe. He's deliberate in those actions. When it's away from her, he starts to tend to her. Officer Ford comes in, and he orders, like, asks Officer Ford to make the gun safe. He's cool, calm, and collected. That's what Lieutenant Daly expected, and that's what he was. He didn't make a mistake. That's what the credible evidence shows. And what did he say to Officer Houston after? And this just goes to state of mind, hang on. That she pointed the gun at me, and it clicked. And she tried to drag him away. Immediately after. This wasn't him saving his hide or protecting himself. Seconds after this happened, that's what he said. Every piece of credible evidence points to the inescapable fact that she is guilty. Every piece of physical evidence, scientific evidence, mechanical evidence, every piece of testimony from Daly to Houston to Core, even Lauren Page, the mother, even the defendant corroborates what Officer Newton says. Every piece. Your Honor, I would suggest to you there is only one fair and just verdict in this case, and that is guilty. Thank you.
May we go sidebar?
Yeah, I'd like to counsel anybody inside our court on scheduling purposes.
No one should be talking anything.
Returning to counsel table. I'm just going to. We went to the sidebar for two reasons. One was Mr. Bradle has a series of objections that he'd like to lodge about the Commonwealth's closing, which I'm going to give you an opportunity to do in open court with the Commonwealth in open court responding. And also, I went over the schedule. So as I told counsel, my intention is to take as long of a period of time as I need to reach a verdict, provide the court staff and counsel with 30 minutes notice, and come out and announce my verdict, some of my reasoning here in public, and whatever time that works. In other words, if it's during our traditional lunch break, so be it. You folks will have a half-hour notice, which means that you'll be able to go and have coffee or lunch or whatever, as long as you can get back here. All right, so that's how we work that out. We also discussed at sidebar the fact that in a jury trial, we never provide the jurors with ammunition and firearm, even with the trigger block at the same time. So my intention is that Mr. Ruane, our assistant clerk, will keep possession of the ammunition, and the firearm will come back in chambers with me along with the other exhibits. When and if I need the ammunition, will be switched out. All right. Okay. Globally, have I said in open court what we discussed?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Bradle, I'll hear you on the objections.
Thank you, Your Honor. So Judge, traditionally we do this at sidebar, but as you mentioned, we don't have a fact finder here that we need to talk off to the side to. So in open court, I'm happy to do this. Sure. Yeah, I'll go back over everything I said at sidebar, Your Honor. Judge, the first objections I have to counsel's closing argument center on ballistics issues. The first part is that counsel picked up the gun and used it 3 times. Prior to that, counsel provided what I would consider the expert testimony on the operation of the gun. I think it exceeded the scope of what Detective Bonasaro talked about. He said that it had to be a scientific certainty that this gun was racked by Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Mischaracterizes the defense position that we're not saying necessarily that it didn't happen. We said that Kelsey Fitzsimmons didn't rack the firearm. And we have a completely different version of events. So no one's saying that it didn't happen. We're saying that Kelsey didn't do it. And to characterize it like, that it had to be racked by Kelsey Fitzsimmons is not fair argument, and it mischaracterizes the state of the evidence. The second objection relative to ballistics, Your Honor, is that counsel was acting out. I believe it was the second time he picked up the firearm. Counsel was acting out on Noonan's story that Ms. Fitzsimmons had accessed the firearm from the chest and picked it up to point it at Noonan's face. And on Noonan's testimony, she just pulled the trigger and it clicked. Counsel is acting it out. Prior to pulling the trigger, counsel racked the firearm and then pulled the trigger. And that's not what happened on even Noonan's testimony.
I'm happy to allow you to make a record, but the fact that there's 2 different versions of what folks testified about is fair game. What the issue right now is whether the Commonwealth argued items that were not in evidence or attempted to draw inferences from items that were not in evidence. So the disagreement about the racking is just not before me.
Well, that's why I bring it up, though, Judge, because this racking issue has been brought up to the forefront. And he did something that is not part of the evidence. No one says that she racked the gun before the first shot, and that's what he did when he acted it out. So that's why it's a mischaracterization. I'll just rely on your Honor's discretion.
That's not what Mr. Kubatosi did, though.
I did see him rack the firearm before he fired the second shot. He did it the second time, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm having trouble understanding. Again,
It's just that when you act out the testimony, you have to do it accurately, and he did.
I'm going to say this in open court, and it won't be the last time I say it. Whether or not Officer Noonan exercised reasonable use of deadly force is not before me. That is not my decision.
I agree with you, and I say it on credibility.
And hold on, and whether the North Andover Police Department followed procedure in executing, serving this restraining order is not before me. Child custody is not before me. All right, visitation is not before me. What's before me is, has the Commonwealth proved beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant pointed that firearm for any perceptible amount of time at Officer Noonan? Okay, so all of this is just not helpful.
And I offer on credibility, though, Your Honor.
Okay.
Also, the Commonwealth said that on the scene, Ms. Fitzsimmons didn't say part of her story there, so therefore she's making it up. And whenever the Commonwealth tries to argue that a defendant, didn't say something, that's very dangerous ground for the Commonwealth, Your Honor, that the defendant is under no burden whatsoever to say anything, Your Honor. And here, to suggest that she's lying because she didn't say part of her story when she's shot in the chest at the scene is unfair argument, but it also violates her right to remain silent. And it's an intrusion on that, so I would object to that. I ask you not to consider that, Your Honor.
Except that, Mr. Brado, she waived her right to remain silent, right? She testified. So
At the scene, though,
isn't it fair game for the Commonwealth to discuss the testimony that your client offered?
The testimony, yes, but he's saying that at the scene, she didn't say XYZ when she didn't have to say XYZ at the scene. And that's, the Commonwealth can only argue that when a defendant makes a comprehensive statement and leaves something out of it. You can't say that especially in her condition, that she didn't say something and therefore she's a liar. She has a right to not say anything. So that's my point on that, Judge. And then the last two more issues, Judge, is that there was a mischaracterization of the evidence where counsel stated that Justin Elaine told the officers in the lobby of the police station that Kelsey will kill someone else. He added that to the statement that you might recall, that he said he wouldn't be surprised if she didn't kill the baby right in front of them. That was the statement. He added in that she would kill someone else, which in this case is a very dangerous mischaracterization, that he's ascribing an intent to my client that she wanted to kill someone else, which didn't happen. That was not the statement. So that's a very important, very dangerous, very unfair, very prejudicial misrepresentation of what was attributed to Justin Elaine in the lobby. She never said anything about killing someone else. He didn't even he didn't say that she said that. So I ask you to strike that and not consider it. And the last thing, Judge, about lying about the dog on the restraining order, Your Honor, that trying to take her dog. And it is in the complaint to the restraining order by Justin Elaine.
Okay. I know you're trying to do a second closing, but the evidence is what the evidence is.
Yeah, but Judge, you can't say, when you have the discovery on the point, you can't say that something is a lie when you have the papers that show it's not a lie. And the box was checked in the complaint to get her dog. So that's a mischaracterization of the evidence that needs to be corrected, Your Honor. And that's my last point. Thank you.
So, Commonwealth, from my perspective, with all due respect to Mr. Brado, who's done a terrific job advocating for his client, I view that as nothing more than a rebuttal to the Commonwealth's closing. So I'll give you a few minutes to rebut these things. Let me say this, though. I don't believe that there was any evidence before me that Ms. Fitzsimmons was sectioned previously. I think that the way I view the evidence is that this is what the police believed. It was part of their state of mind in serving it. But I'm at a loss, frankly, that, in other words, what I'm saying, Mr. Brado, is out of all the items that you argued about the Commonwealth purportedly arguing something not in evidence, this sectioning, alleged sectioning that happened prior to this, there's no evidence of that before me. There's mention of it, and it goes to the officer's state of mind. So, and that's all that, in fairness, that's all that you argued, Mr. Kubatosi. But I guess what I was getting at is if there was anything at all that came close, that would have been it. But Mr. Kubatosi, I'll give you a few minutes for your rebuttal to the rebuttal.
I don't think I trust you to have sifted through what's relevant, what's not relevant. The evidence is what the evidence is. Closings are not evidence. I would suggest to you that, yes, I do that I argue the evidence that came from the witness stand and from the exhibits to Rabanasaro absolutely describe the ways that a firearm works and how a round gets into the chamber. And I limited my explanation of that to what he described and the like. I don't need to make a second close.
You just did that.
I'm a lawyer. What do you think?
I respect that. Both sides. All right. So at this point, why don't we? I said that I was going to step off of the gathering of the evidence. Let me not do that. I'd like the council to just make sure that all the evidence, the exhibits are in order. We'll look at attendant on both sides. If you folks can take a look at the verdict form as well. I don't know if you already have. It's not complicated, but you want Mr. Hale, have you seen the verdict form?
No.
All right. So what do you, Officer, do you mind? we can't make the verdict, but we're still working on the exhibit.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, let's pause that, but hang on. Let me pause that bad boy for a second. Jeepers, it's still going in my ears. I don't want that. Right, till we I'm not going to go through all the. I know I said I would, but I'm not going to go through them all. I'll just go through a couple of her. Oh, you fuckers! Why? Okay, that's fine. So obviously it's been called, and I've not read these parts yet. So word has got around that the verdict will be in shortly, and there's a large line outside. So there is a large line. I think some people weren't able to get in and stuff. He said Kelsey's stepfather said he did not listen to any parts of the trial, but listened to both closing arguments. He said, having not heard any parts of the trial, he felt confident that Bridal's closings, but said the comment also closed well. And I think that's a fair assessment. Speaking to supporters who were also present for both Karen Reid, and there's a few of them, verdicts. One says this verdict watch is more calm and relaxed. She says that with Karen, they did not know how it was going to go, but with Kelsey, she feels confident it will be a not guilty verdict. Another supporter says no matter the outcome, that the judge was a fair judge and everything was transparent in comparison to the retrial. That's important. One supporter says she is anxious but feels it will be not guilty. And the supporter who was at both retrials says she also felt this judge was fair. She sent out her anxiety. She felt surrounding Canone is not there this time around, and she would accept the verdict no matter what. Okay, interesting. We continue to wait outside the courtroom. I will update you soon. Verdict time does change to 2 p.m. That comes from Courtney, who is Bradle's paralegal. So it's gone from 1:30 to 2 o'clock. So anyway, so there you go. If Jess will be in there, I think Aiden's in there as well. Well, I don't think he was this morning because he couldn't get there on time. But Jess is in there in the court. I mean, look, I don't know what you all think so far because why does it keep doing that? I also got copyright on the other video, motherfuckers. Of this morning's videos, they're a bunch of CUNTS. Right. This is the live stream for the verdict. There you go. So once it comes live, it'll obviously be there. Right, what's the poll say? What are you mofos saying? So 21% of you believe she will be found guilty, and 79% of you believe that she will be found not guilty. Now it's 20%, 20% guilty, 80% not guilty. Okay. I think overall, I think that she'll be found not guilty. Like, I don't know what the charges are, for being honest. If it's just, but anyway, I won't go into it. But from what I've heard, I think there's reasonable doubt that she did not mean to kill him. There's two versions of the story, and there's two stories are plausible, I suppose. So how can you side with one over the other? Again, I'm only speaking for what I've just heard briefly in and out. So I'm not an expert. So yeah, I am definitely not an expert on that. So I could very well be wrong. I see your comments. Lots of you said that you think Bradle did very well, mostly well throughout the trial, but you didn't like his his closing. A lot of people thought that the female attorney would do the closings. I did see a lot of that people saying that. I thought his closing was okay. You know, it wasn't like wow impactful, but also I believe that it is to a judge as well. It's not to an audience, so I don't know. If he gets his key points across, I think that's fine. Right, I've lost where I am here. Why have I lost my StreamYard? Oh, I don't know. I've somehow lost my StreamYard stuff, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Oh, actually, I should look at the other one because in case you're all chatting. Oh no, you're not really. After the Georgia trial, it's just any. I know. Also, the Georgia trial we covered. They've just done closing arguments. I don't know if they're still doing it because they seem to be going on for days. I'm still very disappointed in the Mississippi trial. I can't believe that tells me everything I need to know about Court TV. You know, there is. I believe KD. Thank you, KD, for asking the court for a link. I don't know what they said to you, but there's a link. They just don't want to share it. That's what's annoying. Court TV want to make money out of that case by not allowing anyone else to stream it. And I say Court TV is actually a law and crime now because they're joint business, and it's actually a law and crime link. So that for me is very, very pathetic that they're not allowing other streamers access to the pool camera because they want to play it. And this morning, I didn't say this to you live, but this morning they were discussing. I could hear them discussing. The video guy was saying, so somebody in the call was asking the video guy, "Oh, when's this? Is it been live streamed?" They're like, "No, we're recording it to play it another time." And they asked him, "Well, when's it coming out?" "Oh, it'll probably come out next week or the week after." That's just totally wrong, in my opinion. Because they got like 3 trials going or whatever it is. They just believe, well, we'll just have to put this in the bag and we'll put it out another time. I just don't like that because, like, I'm here streaming it. Just let me stream it. You know what I mean? It's a pool camera. So the court, everyone has access to it, but they've decided to shut that access down. I'm very disappointed with that. Very disappointed. Especially we were doing so well. We had over 300 people there, you know, and yesterday we had like 4,500 as in total views. Today, I think Aaron Hack told me it's like 1,500 something. But we had over 300 people watching, you know, that which is great. And I know they're only there for that trial and they were never coming back. But still, to have a trial where we could just watch it and have those numbers, that makes a lot of difference for me. So a day of having like 200-300 people watching is a big difference because that's the difference between, you know, me making like, I don't know, $15 to $20. Like if I got 200-300 people in there watching at the same time, I could actually make $30, say, for the whole day. Whereas these kind of numbers I have, it's like you make $2 in a day. It's a big difference, you know. So I'm a little bit salty, I won't lie. I'm a little bit pissed off about it. But we did end up, I mean, not that it matters. Again, it doesn't matter about subscribers because if they don't come back, who cares? Do you know what I mean? Subscribers mean nothing. But I believe, how many subscribers do we gain? Let me just check how many new subscribers we got. I have to go in here, I think. Let me go out of this one then. Dashboard. We got 70, 80, 90, 100, 145 new subscribers we got in the end. 145 new subscribers. But they will dwindle. But again, it doesn't matter, you know. Frustrating. We are at just 3,367 have watched day 3 so far, and over 5,000 for the day 2. But it's a piss take, you know. I know I'm ranting. I know you all here for Kelsey, but still. I know, but I was the only one there. Do you know what I mean? So it is. I mean, still, it's it is what it is, but it's frustrating. I hope people see that this is what Court TV does. Just selfish. They're not there for the people. They're not there to showcase a trial for justice for the people. You know, for the people of Mississippi that want to see this. You know, Kirby Carpenter, who's the victim, they don't want to see justice for him. They just want to see the money roll in. And they just want to have all the goods themselves, which is very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Motherfuckers. I'm gonna be salty with this for days. If you would like to donate to the channel, best way to do so is through Buy Me a Coffee. YouTube doesn't take a cut from this, and the link is there, buymeacoffee.com/LChappy. I changed the link because I can use it on both channels then. Right. We go on with the 18 minutes to go. And I believe he will be reading out his justifications as well for everything. Now, again, I believe she'll be found not guilty. So, what's the poll say again? What? I can't even see the chat. Oh, I'm all the way pissed off. Aaron Hack is all the way pissed off. At least 150 over 2 days. So yeah, it's 145. So I had 10,170 subscribers going in to the day, as in yesterday, and currently it's at 10,317. So that's 147 between both days. And you've got to remember, some people probably dropped out as well. So, why does StreamYard not bring your chats up, people? I have to go into YouTube to watch it. Was I supposed to be dressed? Beck says. Don't know what that is. No, never, Baddaza says. Baddaza is a horn dog. What? 5:30? What? Has it changed again? No way has it changed again. Hang on. And Katie, what did they say to you on the call as well? What did they say to you about why we couldn't get the link for the stream? Did they give you a reason why they won't give it out? I need to get this down there. Let me go and see what has there been an update, because I have not seen that. Okay, no, it's still 2 o'clock. Jeff says they have entered the courtroom and the room is filled. Approximately half the room is police officers. Fucking hell. This one, lovely. This one. Kelsey Fitzsimmons, lovely. Oh, shit, sorry. 5:30. Yeah, what time is it now? At 5:45, is it? Oh, shit, sorry. 5:30 UK time, sorry. What am I doing? It was 5:30 UK time, sorry. I'll take it off now. Hello, lovely. The lady just said that the trial has not been live streamed and there's no Zoom link for public viewing. That's fair. I mean, she's, there's a pool camera and there's a link. You know what I mean? That's my frustration. There's a pool camera. And it's being recorded. Hang on. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Roddy? 19? Dyna fe'n ymwneud. I fi ôl lan wedyn. Pobl yn gweithio i ti. Ar y stream. Super stôl ydych chi boi. Cyfadau. Sef fi dy chwarae, dim ond ti a fi we. Oops, hang on. Ti'n gweud hello there? Hello everyone. Oh, here we go. You can see you better now.
Hello.
Sorry we thought, and that doesn't work, but still. So there you go, we can all see Radi, her favourite uncle. Hoff uncle ti fe?
Da fi trio gwrs.
O, so fi hoff uncle ti fe?
Da fi dim ond trio gwrs. Da'n gwybod bai hyn.
O, pwy ti'n hoffi uncle Daz, o ti? Yeah. So she's going to have dinner. Ti'n dechrau to?
Yeah.
She's already read with her other niece. So she's going to have pizza and chips for dinner tonight. Hawaiian pizza. So those of you that don't like pineapples, tough. She loves pineapples on pizzas.
Yeah.
What's it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Ah! Come on, we stop. So ti'n siarad do?
Wow.
People. Ti'n joio o'r stream, wyt ti?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Ti'n mynd ôl i'n gweld y chwiorydd ti? Y stream yn ôl. Weith y tade? Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Bye. Bye bye.
What's your about? Bye, ti. Right. Oh, she couldn't see the chat. I did think there was chatting, and now I see all the chats. Oh, no. Oh, so disappointed. But hey, this is brought a smile on my face. Hello. Hey, Trish, how are you, my darling? Nice to see you, child of God. So this is the lady. I call her a lady because, you know, she's very prim and proper. Joking. She is the whole reason of these. And I've got one by my modem as well. My mother's got one as well. So the power. I did these because of Trish, child of God. So Funkle Paddington, I know. Oh, I wish I could see the chat. I thought you were all being rude because no one's talking. But now I see all your chats. Fuck. Favorite co-host, I know. Thank you, everyone. She's having her pizza tonight. Let me remove that for a second. Bring this up. There you go. So yeah, she's having a Hawaiian pizza. Why all this hush hush? Why can't we watch it? Because they want to make more money. Lovely. They want to make more money. That's what. So they're releasing it in between a week and 2 weeks' time. So all the episodes will be out in 2 weeks. So they want to make money, 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 money. So here we are. We're here. We're here. We're here. We're everywhere. Oh, I sent it back up because I saw some court movement. So I thought, oh, we got 10 minutes to go. Come on. All right. What's the chat saying? What are we doing for verdict here? We've got 28% guilty. And we have 32% guilty, 68% not guilty. Hang on. Why is it still? Oh, I still can't see the chat. Hang on, I have to go to the other one. Right. Hey, sweetie. So, now I see your comments. Funkle sounds so diabolical. For sure, Jonathan. Child labour is my favourite labour. Hey, sweetie. Bye-bye. I'm Team Pineapple. Do great to see you and everyone. And you as well. Cheese pizza only. That's my third niece, Janno. That's what she's having tonight. It's just cheese pizza. That's what her favourite is. Great energy. There you go, child of God. Love it. No, we turn nice when a child's in the room. The line, let's adopt baby together. Lol, double dance, except you can date whoever you want. Jonathan, she's adorable. It does on ham pizza. I'm so disappointed in this. Oh, sorry. I do need the green card. I can officiate. We are planning a wedding. Oh no. Is this your first day on YouTube, Dylan? Oh shit. Are we on? No, we're not. Sorry. What's going on? Why is it my first day on YouTube? Why isn't StreamYard playing? That's annoying that I can't get StreamYard to play. See your chats. I have to stay on here now. So 32% do you believe is guilty? No, I am not marrying Jonathan. I was wondering who you thought I was going to marry. Now I see the LGBTQ or whatever it's called flags. Ooh. So this is my. Oh, hang on. Can you see this? Let's see if you can see this. They're still on site. That is my eldest niece. Oh shit! You can't really see it that well. She is in Germany. She's got a bowl of pasta or something. I don't know what that is. My brother-in-law is eating a big pizza in Germany. And this is Radi being very, very faithful. What's she drinking? Wine. Oh, no, it's not. It's something with mint in it. She was drinking tequila something earlier on. But something else now. Hey, Seahawks. No jury, Seahawks, because she decided to go for a bench trial. So just the judge deciding. Just the judge, you know. So there's no, yeah. No marriage here. Well, I can understand pizza and pineapple. However, never pizza for me because I'm allergic to it. Oh no, that sucks. Right, let me get. As I said, let me get this up, but it's always up, and then this one's here. I do need to get married, though. I do need to get married. I'm getting old now. I'm going to be 44 next month. Literally about 3 weeks, I think. And Lady Di's going to be 44 a week afterwards. So yeah, we're getting old. Okay. Get that off. Fine. Oh, I've relatives in Germany too. Where are your family at? They're at Berlin. They're in Berlin. 40s is the new 20s. Bex, don't you worry. Bex, you love the older man anyway, so it's all good. Bex has a fetish for older men, so yeah, they wanted to go there to Berlin for my niece's birthday. That's a treat. She was 19 years old on Sunday, so I know that's why you keep harassing me for moobs pics. I am not, Jonathan. Look what you started now, Jonathan. Why are you sad? Because me and Jonathan are getting married. Oh, it's because you're 43. I know, 44 next. I know. It's all good. It's all good. You're only as old as the person you're feeling up, they say. Okay. You thought you were turning 43, but now you're turning 44. 40s are hot, I know. Scar. 44, and I'm whatever. I don't mind being 44. Where are we 44? I am 44 on 420, so that is 20, 25 days away. So that is 1, 2, 3, 3.5 weeks away. And then Lee Di is 44. So I'm 44 on Monday, 420, and Lady Di is 44 on Saturday, 425. So there you go. Oldie but goodie. Erin Hack was 50. When were you 50? A few weeks ago. So 46 in May. There you go. That's fine. I mean, I think age is but a number. It's what you do with your life. Italy and everything is almost tomatoes, not. Oh yeah, you don't like pizzas and stuff. Yeah, I'm not big. I've been to Italy. It was okay. I wasn't a massive fan of the pizzas. Too oily. You talk about me. We are talking about wedding. Sorry. But you were the big 5-0, so it was good. It's a big day. It's a big day. April 25th. I'm the oldest here when Dave isn't in chat. Oh, so you're the same day as Lady Di then, Jugs. Age is but a number until you do meth. 10 years and look ancient and diseased. Jonathan, tell me about it. I'm April 27th. Sorry. So you're a week after me. So you're the following Monday. Sorry. Right, the court is. Oh, have I got the volume on? Let me make sure that I got boosted for you ladies because I know you needed to be boosted. I did see the shit. 49 plus 1. All night. All night long. All night. All night. Hello. Hello to you as well, Mexi. Thank you for that. It's always nice when I get this Hello Cutie stuff. Thank you, Mexi. I appreciate that. Thank you, Max. Thanks, Mexi. See how to make somebody feel good. You know what I mean? So. Let me look at this. I'm also going grey in my hair. I noticed. I need to cut my hair as well. Going grey now. Right, let me take that down. Move that up here. So yeah, let's have a look at the poll again then, because we're waiting. I went live too early. Some would say I ejaculated too early by coming on stream. To be fair, and you could probably pass for 27 because you're tiny. You're like 4'4", so. Two cocks fighting. I mean, who gives Jonathan these ideas to change his names to all these things? Hey, Nanny Do. Nanny Do, how are you? Nanny's nice to see you. How are we doing, stranger? We saw Terry Martins earlier on, which is nice to see here as well, and nice to see you as well, Nanny. Good to see you. Is two cocks fighting. That's what his name will be. My new name is literally just by PFP. Erin is pocket sized. She is. Erin has always been pocket sized. All her life. Ah, I'm not going to stream anymore after the verdict comes in because I'm so disappointed today with the other stream. I'm a little bit down, if I'm being honest with you. So tomorrow I actually am going out with my mother tomorrow. So I'm not sure if I'm going to stream tomorrow. I probably will stream a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I won't. So yeah, I'm going with my mother out tomorrow. So yeah. So I might just not rush back and then I got to pick my nieces up. So I'll come back fresh Monday maybe. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Well, now we're disappointed. I've relatively built into. Oh, nice. I'm down for you. I know. I know. The weather is getting nicer. We have hoodlums walking everywhere here at work. Oh, so you're in work today. You're not home today. You're in work. Why are our names not our nicknames? Or is that just me? No, I'll say for everybody. There's a way to change it, Sally, but I don't know how. What the fuck, Jonathan? No, never ketchup. I do have a little bit of ketchup with my steak sometimes. If I have fries with it, I have steak ketchup. You can change it, Sally. They do wherever they want, wherever they will, wherever they bam, 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 bam. Allegedly, hello. Tell them the guy never went in the house. How we doing, my darling? We had Trish in here earlier on as well. As you know, Trish is on Leanne. I love Trish and Leanne. So say hello to Vinny for me, as always. Got a lot of love for Vincent as well. Allegedly, oh, Leanne, do you know what? I saw a video of you the other day, right? I forgot to tell you everything about it. It's when you opened your phone. I saw it a few weeks ago, and there was it was something to do with something. Oh, something to do with the snow or something. And you opened it, it was a big black cock. So I laughed at that. I forgot to tell you about it. You just popped up, and I thought, oh, Leanne, every time. I always think, I got to remember to tell Leanne I saw the video of her with a big black cock. Love you too, guys. Love you too, guys. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. I didn't, I was like, well, Leanne's got preference. So, I love it. It keeps shaking. And I'm thinking, oh, I got quiet because I'm like, oh. Here we go. Right.
Good afternoon. We're on record on the Kelsey Fitzsimmons matter, docket 2025 77 CR 311. All counsel and the defendant are present.
Thank you. So before I begin, I'd like to speak to our audience members. I understand that this case has generated a lot of passion and emotion, but you must remember that this is a courtroom and not a sports arena. When I announce my verdict, you must not act out emotionally or visibly or audibly react. So you should leave the courtroom if you believe that you will be unable to maintain your composure. I'd like to start with a few introductory words. Let me say this, this is not in my script. This has been one of the more exhausting, hardest things I've had to do as a judge, as an attorney. And So, as the lawyers know, unlike when a judge presides over a jury waived trial in a civil case, there is no requirement that a judge explain their reasons for reaching a verdict after a criminal bench trial. I do so in this case because I think that Ms. Fitzsimmons, Officer Noonan, and all the people involved in the tragic events of June 30, 2025 deserve an explanation. Next, I'd like to take the opportunity to publicly thank and commend the attorneys in this case. They all did an exceptional job presenting the evidence and conducting themselves in an extremely professional and civil manner. And they did so under the public spotlight in an emotionally charged case. I commend you. To the extent that any of the prosecutors and attorneys may be vilified or subjected to public scorn for simply doing their jobs, in this case, I say that any such scorn is unfair, unwarranted, and simply wrong. These prosecutors and attorneys fought hard, but performed their solemn jobs fairly with the utmost civility, and professionalism. They serve as a shining example of our adversarial system in operation. Now, I'd like to publicly acknowledge the crucial and often thankless role that police officers perform, a role that Ms. Fitzsimmons herself, like Officer Noonan, willingly and selflessly performed for the citizens of North Andover. For this, you should be thanked, not disparaged. For those that think that serving as a police officer is easy, or that officers don't care or take pride in their work, I say with more than 3 decades of experience in the criminal justice system that you are naive, misinformed, and sadly mistaken. The work of police officers is especially fraught with peril today because of our exceedingly cynical, polarized atmosphere where our citizenry often believes that there is a conspiracy under or around every corner. I saw no evidence of a conspiracy in this case. What I saw was dedicated public servants like Officer Noonan and his fellow officers doing the best they could under tragic, rapidly evolving emotional circumstances. What I also saw was a young woman, Ms. Fitzsimmons, who was also a dedicated public servant, react to sudden, confusing, and heartbreaking news. Now let me turn to the evidence and the law. Our system of justice requires me to decide this case solely on the law and the evidence. So the only things I have considered in reaching my verdict are the 98 exhibits submitted during the trial and the testimony of the 11 witnesses that testified here in open court. While it may be cold and uncaring, our system of justice demands that emotion, sympathy, and concern for the consequences of my decision play no role in my decision. As for the law, in order to prove Ms. Fitzsimmons guilty of the crime of assault by means of a dangerous weapon, the Commonwealth must prove the following 3 things. We lawyers call these things elements beyond a reasonable doubt. First, that Ms. Simmons committed an assault on Officer Noonan. Second, that Ms. Simmons intended to commit the assault. And third, that the assault was committed by means of a dangerous weapon. The sole issue before me is whether the Commonwealth proved each of these 3 elements beyond a reasonable doubt. And more specifically, under the circumstances of this case, the narrow issue before me is whether the Commonwealth proved beyond a reasonable doubt that Ms. Fitzsimmons pointed a firearm at Officer Noonan for any perceptible amount of time. What is not before me are the legality of the issuance of the restraining order to Mr. Alain, the reasonableness of the procedure used by the police to serve the restraining order, the legality of Officer Noonan's use of force and issues regarding the custody of Katie. It is not my place to decide these issues or even mention my thoughts on them. I am thankful for this because my role has been hard enough. What has made my job especially difficult in this case is that by and large, I found the testimony of Officer Noonan and Ms. Fitzsimmons to be credible on the material and relevant points. In my experience, this is unusual and somewhat perplexing. On the one hand, Ms. Fitzsimmons credibly testified that she never pointed a firearm at Officer Noonan. On the other hand, Officer Noonan testified that not only did Ms. Fitzsimmons point a gun at him, that she also pulled the trigger. Both agree that it happened in seconds near a narrow doorway, and the crime scene photos showed that the door frame was made narrower by a clothes rack containing police uniforms that was to Officer Noonan's left. The door frame was also made, strike that, the door frame was made still narrower when Officer Noonan used it to take cover when he drew his firearm. During the closing argument, the Commonwealth argued that it is scientifically and physically impossible for Ms. Fitzsimmons' story to be true because there was a bullet in the chamber, and she said that Officer Noonan shot her without her ever racking the slide after pulling the trigger. I disagree that the evidence reflected that the only way to chamber a round would have been to pull the slide under those circumstances. However, even if I assume that Ms. Fitzsimmons lied about not racking the slide, it does not detract from the adamantly and credibility of her testimony that she never pointed the gun at Officer Noonan, about which he was equally as adamant that she did. Perhaps the Commonwealth could have easily met its burden if the officers had been wearing body cameras. But under these circumstances, I am left with a reasonable doubt, and I am duty-bound to find that the Commonwealth has not met its burden to prove that Ms. Fitzsimmons committed an assault by means of a dangerous weapon on Officer Noonan, and my verdict is, and must be, not guilty. With that, I will hand the signed verdict slip. I will hand the signed verdict slip to Mr. Wayne and ask that he advise Ms. Fitzsimmons of her statutory rights.
Ms. Fitzsimmons, could you please stand? On docket 2025, 77 CR 311, count 001. The court having returned a verdict of not guilty, the court orders it to be discharged of this indictment and this indictment only, and go thereof without delay. Kelsey Fitzsimmons, as required by statute, I must inform you that the records regarding the charges for which you have been found not guilty will be sealed by the Commissioner of Probation and by the court unless you notify the Commissioner of Probation in writing within 10 days that you do not want those records sealed. To request that those records not be sealed, you may use the request not to seal form posted on the trial court's webpage on mass.gov, or a copy of which I will hand to your counsel. I cannot accept the form here in court. You must submit it to the Commissioner of Probation at the address provided on the form. You understand?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Court is in recess.
Good, all right.
Great.
Sit quietly, and thank you once again. Thank you. Oh, there are other sessions still going. Please be quiet on your way out. Folks, if you don't mind, stop walking over to this back right here. Let's get out.
Just get out.
Space here. Folks, make your way out. Say that again, Jay. Code 1 is also still. Everybody should be trickling out. Some of you guys want to start going down so that we can get people moving. Folks, I don't mean to put speed to what you guys going on here, but we have other places we need to be as officers. So, you guys are more than welcome to use that room. You guys are using in there. And these reasons.
Yeah, because I need to get this stuff.
You have an opportunity to be up. We'll have at least an officer here so you can take it.
What do you want to pack? We're just gonna go back to that conference room? The same one. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's not on, right?
It is on.
Amen. Thank you.
See you later.
There you go. Right. That's step 1 for Kelsey. Next step, family court. So I wonder how, I don't know what's happening with the family court, how soon she will be able to get in front of them and try and get, yeah, but enjoy tonight. She's a free woman. April 2nd, there you go. So she can enjoy for this week, and then April 2nd onwards, hopefully she gets what she needs on the 2nd of April, where she can get her child back. But I don't know what the system is like in Massachusetts, how long, how it works. But that's her next battle, you know, so it's never ending for her. That's her next big battle now. But this was step 1. So she still needs support. She still needs a lot of help as well. So good luck to her. But yeah, I think, yeah, I'm not going to go into the visitation stuff. I know there's something being filed already, but now she's got that, she can fight to try and get the child back full time, you know. So, right, I'm going to thank you all for the last few days. Thank you for watching. I appreciate most of you, not all of you, most of you. And I'm going to end that there. I believe Justin is shitting himself right now. So he did not come across very good. So, and also he's got his own concerns now because he's got disciplinary matters to deal with the fire brigade, wherever he works. I don't remember where he works. So we'll see if I go live tomorrow. If I do, it'll be a short stream and we'll do some bullshit stuff, but we'll see what happens. But for now, thank you so much. I love you all. Not that's a lie. I love most of you, or some of you. So thank you, everyone. Have a great one, and I'll see you. Oh, was it Adam Montgomery's? Thank you, Erin. I didn't realize that. Yeah, we'll might do something short tomorrow. Short and sweet, just the way you like it. All right, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Good night. Goodbye.